My name is Ireland, and my topic was how sexual orientation affects gender stereotypes. So first, we just have the stereotypical gender roles, typically associated with like straight, but it's mostly applied to younger people. So for example, boys should like to play with toys like trucks, while girls should like to play with toys like dolls. Boys should only like the colors blue and green, while girls should like pink and purple. As for their behavior, girls should be more well behaved, but boys are allowed to act out. Women should be more emotional, caring, and soft, while men should be strong, smart, and respected. Boys should also be violent and aggressive to assert their dominance, while girls should only be gentle, caring about their appearance. Boys should also be good at math and science and take over fields such as engineering and STEM. We also have different sexual orientations. So first we have heterosexual or straight, which is a female or male who seeks romantic relationships with the opposite sex. So that would be a female with a male or a male with a female, as in this top picture on the right. We also have lesbians. They are a female who seeks a romantic relationship with the other females. That would be the middle picture. And then we have gay, which can be associated with all genders as just an umbrella term, but typically it's associated with homosexual men. So that would be a male who seeks a romantic relationship with other males as the bottom picture. Mainly I focus on those three, but there is also bisexual, who is an individual who seeks a romantic relationship with both females and males, so either one. So these stereotypes develop in many different ways. One of those being an overrepresentation of stereotypes in the media, but an underrepresentation in the spectrum. So that would be one stereotype showed in the media all the time. For example, a butch lesbian is represented in the media often. However, in the media, they don't represent the whole spectrum. So feminine lesbians are rarely, if ever, represented on the media. We also have targeted ads, which can lead to the stereotypes, and children's own experiences, their own sexual orientation, and their knowledge of themselves or others can also lead to the development of sexual stereotypes. So we also have just general stereotypes based on sexual orientation, like same-sex couples cannot make good parents because often people think in lesbian couples, for example, that the child would need a father figure, and same as for the males. It's also thought of that unaggressive men are likely gay and non-feminine women are likely lesbians. Then here we have the stereotypical straight woman. There's examples here like Taylor Swift and Jennifer Aniston. Their typical job would be a hairstylist, a florist, or a baker. They often like to knit. They're emotional. They're neat. They have more feelings of love as well as a wider range of emotions. So if you just take a second to look at their physical appearance. And then next we're going to go to the stereotypical straight man like Zac Efron and The Rock. So they are going to be more construction workers, firemen. They like to hunt and build. They're strong, athletic, and the main feelings they have are anger, pride, and contempt. Then we have the lesbian stereotype. As you can see, they look more similar to the male stereotype than the female. They're very opposite from the first females we saw. They are generally associated, like I said, with the straight male characteristics. They have short hair, undercut, or a shave. So as you can see in this top picture, the woman on the right has a shave. And then Ruby Rose here in the middle has short hair. They also wear more masculine clothes, beanies, hoodies, or sweatpants like the top picture on the left. And they also avoid dresses, skirts, and they opt for more suits and pants. Another stereotype that has resulted from targeted ads is that they drive a Subaru. Then we also have the gay stereotype. This would be for male. They look very similar to the straight females that we saw, just a little bit more over the top and very opposite from the straight males we saw. So they generally parallel the ideal straight woman. They wore feminine clothes such as dresses. They wear makeup, and it's especially in drag queens known to be over the top. They are typically much more warm than a typical man. They have a sense of pity for others that most men lack, and they often speak in higher voices that are often more flamboyant. So the bisexual stereotype doesn't really have anything to do with gender, but I just wanted to point out that they are often seen as being just confused or that they don't really exist. They're often seen as swingers and attracted to everyone they see which is not true at all. So the implications of these stereotypes would be, for example, that any male hairstylist is gay and any female firefighter is a lesbian, which is not necessarily true. And my conclusion that I have drawn from my research is that generally the stereotype for a person who identifies as gay is that they're the opposite of the gender they identify with. So, but if you are straight, you align with your own gender stereotypes. So, for example, if you are gay, a gay man, you would align more with the straight woman stereotype. So there's many harmful effects that can come from these stereotypes. They can harm a person's welfare and career ambitions, causing them to not strive for what they really want to do. It can undermine their performance out of fear or stress. They can have occupational segregation and not be put with other straight people. It could cause the need to come out, which by itself can be traumatizing, but it seems unfair for those who have a different sexual orientation than straight should have to come out in every situation. It can also cause fear of discrimination, which results in the learning of social perceptions. So if someone fears that a person they're around is homophobic, that they will act differently than they normally would to act more like the stereotype that they should be. So for example, a gay man, if he thinks that he is around someone who's homophobic, he would act more like the stereotypical straight man. Their mental health can also be harmed, and they can also be rejected by their friends and family. And again, more harmful effects. Ultimately, they lead to more negative attitudes and homophobia. They put more challenges and barriers in front of those who are not straight, and causes challenges for people with their friends. And even though it is illegal, they can be denied jobs, fired, and even have a lesser wage, all because of who they love and their sexual orientation. So getting rid of these stereotypes will affect our world greatly. Not only will mental health be better, people will be more comfortable and confident with themselves, they'll be more widely accepted, they'll be less afraid to be themselves, they'll will be allowed to show their true self more, and it'll decrease risks of suicide and risky sex. And these are my sources. So thank you for listening to my presentation.